konya yeshapoe anyimano royoko rota yeshini konya yeshapoe ulutela lobo waita titero nitedu ote keyo
ruot gino tiegum kadi piu kumo nyolobo gen kwa chalo noa kede ino mere kadi yamo ron kwele peterogi kadi yamo kut ingo kara kadi macho wang nyolobo penehogi gin bino chui diere maj kuno lela chalo mesach chalo sadrak kede benego gin bino kwa joyero tiegum joyero peka atwal kali kino to melobo ento tipogi bino kwa atwal
Into the future with Airtel's 5G broadband router. Now, with unlimited 5G bundles for limitless connections. Whether it's 8K streaming, seamless gaming right in your home, or connections for your business, there is a bundle for you. Dial *100#, select option 7, or use the My Airtel app and pick a preferred bundle. No installation fees, exclusive to Airtel 5G device.
Rio me kwana me kobo ni nwenti kero lagora me petwere. Me rio obere consultant in cooperative bedo ngata mi otam bod bang me wilobo. Ame nyure ngata me pati me FDC ukelo ni kange chu lagora me rio keneno ni ogwa le malwak me Uganda nwenti ye. Te ko buni Nandala ene poya bere karame oborre binu tororo. Nandala genkara chel kire kanya ene yobere jona ma chel bulayot me karnasha. Amo binu jola duong up in Millington oborre achalo president ikatororo kunu yenen ni karnasha patte monu tie ikarnasha no bero patti me Uganda People's Congress yorni Nandala Mafabi me tintikan no bero ngara chella me ogero itegere itapati me UPC tedo ngero lwen na ho chengtin maneno ni Allah bero Uganda te ko boni karnasha patti me UPC piano bero ngara chella no tiyo kere walbang mubengala chela miyo chwak tutwale tepate karanacha matumie chele miyo bongo ni pere bongo we bishel jote binu kwayo Nandala ni we tit me wal bang oneno kuyi morti koni duwo ko chen kane bini chung bini bede wa member me parliament me we kawano wori parliament me Uganda woro not dog wa me Uganda don tutwale wo iruom mamalo neno ni ogwa li malwak don dan lwak matumie rio kala chel Nathan Nandala Mafabi tebinu wa kutit me wal bang ayano no THA tedu binu chunga chala member me parliament me tonge kana mo ni budadiri tebinu joy kunu pichwaka ayano no tikere kire te homere o tebinu yere ko churu me bera member me parliament me tonge kunu kana lo ni budadiri amanda wana tu copy Nathan Nandala Mafabi o bera member me parliament ama otiu do mwaka pira yo we beach parliament me Uganda ikara eno woro i parliament kunu obinu yere meberu won kom metul na nero kobukom chente agamente kitametiu kara chelkere amenyu kere jomo game checheru chenalwa tebinu yere teberiye tedo binu yere dandoke mebinu beru ngata me won kom me public account committee parliament me Uganda public account committee me parliament oberu ngata me nero kitame chente alwa kama kelo bolwa tiu kere kita metunu kere kana mirtuni ye Nandala Mafabi wingi ya ber ni enneye ubiru lwenye memba kukua don anwan rekwaro chenda government ya Uganda kana meti on record Nandala Mafabi ka koba irwam mekwa nere ya kinejo atie chuni nuye na do lago amelo alo adosho do eno kwao ni en kudu tien kopono ena momio one team ukelo Nathan Nandala Mafabi boru mebiru nyutiwu na mayenu bedo kara chel kede Nandala wantin tu chwako ni obero kara koro nga
Kala wa med much check. Well, he was chairperson of public account committee. He ensured the money which was being stolen for drugs in the hospital, the thieves were arrested. The schools that were being built here fake, ordered for the schools to be built properly. Money which, some of this road, money for it was stolen. Honorable Nathan Nandala wrote a report recommending the arrest of some of those people and money recovered. He also ordered, in his report which Parliament approved, money for the ferries, for some of the ferries here in the north, including eastern Uganda. They'd eaten the money for the ferries. In fact, the government had approved a lot of money in the Park report of Parliament. And so much money that the government saved billions of shillings. While still there, the subsequent election was the leader of opposition in Parliament. As a leader of opposition, he wrote several reports on alternative policy. By then, I was a minister, shadow minister of finance. A part of it was for the reform of university education, this UPE program. For us, when Nathan Nandala was the leader of opposition, he recommended that children in primary schools and secondary school, they needed to be fed. Not just sending children like that. The UPE, which was proposed while he was still in the World Bank, and by God's grace, when he became the leader of opposition, in the alternative policy report, free education with the feeding, and the salary for the teachers that we'll talk about it. In the report that he wrote, increasing salary for the health workers as the leader of opposition, which was presented to Parliament. In the report, which we wrote as a leader of opposition, compensation for the war victims in the entire northern Uganda here, among others. So because of his background, because of his ability, He's one of the chairpersons, the person who has saved the only cooperative union in this country. If you look at Bugis Cooperative Union, exporting coffee, and the farmers in Bugis are benefiting. All other unions that were destroyed, government tried to destroy Bugis Cooperative Union. He took government to court, and the government decided to refund all the money that was stolen while they had removed him from the chairman when government had taken over Bugis Cooperative Union. That is a man who's smart. He's a lawyer by profession background. He's a chartered accountant. So he knows law. He knows issues of accounting. He's also a businessman because his father used to deal in petroleum product. So family inheritance, they transferred to him the skill of dealing in oil and business skills. So the people of Uganda want to bring to you, FDC brings to you, a person in the name of Honorable Nandala. Of all the presidential candidates in Uganda, the best opportunity that you have, that we say God is good, that has granted us. A man who loves God, he has supported construction of churches, a man who loves children, a man who loves this country, or a man who's straightforward, honest, and fair. So we want to request you, the supporters, it's unfortunate that Honorable Jim McKenna has been denied opportunity to be in the ballot paper, because for us, FDC, we believe in unity. UPC, FDC working together to take over government. Because President Museveni's time of 40 years has come to an end. We want to give him a peaceful transfer of power. So we wanted to work with the Honorable Kenna, a son of Obote, and the Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi was also supported. He went to Zambia to see the late Dr. Milton Obote while he was in Zambia, and they had a serious discussion. Also, he moved a motion in Parliament among the MPs who debated and forced government to return the late Dr. Milton Obote's remains. And even when the body was returned in Bugisu, the body of the late Dr. Milton Obote stayed in Bugisu for overnight. Government wanted it to pass Luweru, but Honorable Nathan Nandala mobilized us, the MPs, to ensure that the body passed Eastern Uganda, among many things. Therefore, we want to request all the supporters of UPC to know that Honorable Nathan Nandala is genetically UPC. Genetically UPC congressman, supported by UPC in school, supported by UPC in some training and the networking. He is the best person that the people of Lango should give him 100% vote. He's your son, he's your own. One people, one Uganda.
Aduong Nyametia Kopio Medo Kumkobuni Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi Utiu Parliament Achalo, the leader of opposition. Leader of opposition Yurune Ngatamela Widul me opposition na meti Parliament me Uganda. Nandala Mafabi tiye the teacher bear dosho. Karaentia teacher chalo leader me opposition in Parliament me Uganda. Ubedo ngara chela me obinu katukere chire mogo amoloni alternative policies. Ikara enti achalo leader no position muni ngeo ni ngeno birumiyo jo ame okwalo chente me dagatal global fund gi jo ame okwalo chente me education jo no dusho binu mahoge otetero gi nyim kod chene nacha ote binu gamme bod jo ame okwalo chene cha oteduo go I gulule ma government yoro ni ngeno bedo dana me pemiro ko me kuoro atwale ena obinu bedo ngara chiela me ocho chike mogo ame tamo ni uloni alternative law chika me kai ni mio government miro kaone ni ber gamo te binu tikara chiel kere mena ni odon kre law morne pieno position ni parliament me Uganda gen mio tamgi otemedo kre tama government kaone ni megi cha benaber government tiu kere ka tikere pe ko ni ya board position endong tiu kere le kun ko ni gen na bodo giname genu tie kara chiel kere biru padu kara chiel kere chik ame ko ni otiro kwan UP ni robetie ama mi oti no woro kwanu no ne chikul la government e ka dango te mi chem boroti na meti kunu e kara na ja uri poire government me Uganda te mi UP berutie te dang biru katu kere na mo luoni universal secondary education obero kwando no kwana mo mi bodi ameti senior ya mo ya primary te wori senior dango kono mi jo na ja medo ya primary anutia kwano no cha wodong don ne ka don senior pur me de gini kere kwan we hallo kere standard me kwan won malo gina chella me Nandala ka bero leader mo position obiro katu kere gamen nang to wello obero copy com me comunicado ko jemi du jutie tiye nyurni yotcom jo ameti yotcom miro chulgi aber e kadang miro nenni kana gintie burieti aber eno kenaro biro katu kere obero miyo duogo jami America ogamo amoloni cattle compensation cholo dog babora kana biro cholo dog kalangi itasho biro cholo dog metesho kara chelkere pato bugishu ame warone ni manuti atimere amane dong gamente teori timo kur jamare yano katu kere ni achel mirda mi wingeni dana me alugo ni Nathan Nandala Mafabi ni obero ngara chelke ken amo gwaho cooperative nyokana me ware kana loni la cooperative union ni Uganda loro ena do purdonga ko obere ena me Nathan Nandala Mafabi ena lo mobero bugishu cooperative union kai ni wore yugishu mwanya mejo no puru kere ginna ye obero ka cooperative union a chelke ken amo obero me otedero ametia chatu gina pura gi loba ho aka joyo te we lo mi ko jo me bugishu o lo here en borwe la kan ko jemi no chaneri petie kara government to temo me ka bugishu cooperative union Nandala Mafabi biru ya kere lwa ko gishu long to chalo joni code oni chawa ni bugishu cooperative union puti do ngakwo kur manu ni to neno kur dano no ni obero dana me paro pilwak do en trinity akwa yu ni mi e wonu twero me we bed president me Uganda we ga Paul me jamene be timoteni be timpio nyale me Uganda ende pe ni Nandala Mafabi obero kuronga mi rombo boro ni Nandala do ngato kwano chik bere lawyer areka pe metutu yurne ko pe chike Uganda yindo pe tamo obero ngada mo obero professional accountant and registered with the CPA yurni kadu ngej me manelimi tidu laro binu bure di wene me ario obero ngada bere charwel yurni kakop meneno kop me chatwel kele kopo choro keneno kitame lako kele chatwel me Uganda tidang borre yiringe be ni papere karen potiri ena me kar chanwari neno kobukom petrol person kana no piro mo ye kape como apa papere no tikere na chawani en puru kwanyo kuru jame nuti ya wot kere nyurni ka kope chato wilep me kamo Nandala ngeo kame chik Nandala ngeo kame chato wil Nandala ngeo ena pire tekana lo ko boni Nandala ni neno ni teko tela meno te karame borre ukwayo tele bot president Milton borre nyurni kadwa koba Nandala Mafabi ti yakino tina me UPC ugero ame mi rongi femo me UPC ti kome piano kwani karame UPC worda chukulu karana kwan chao no pogo ni mana kwan kwene eno kwane karnasha teme Nandala Mafabi tieni tieti chababa do ndia kwayo ni chawa do minere atiri akera ndo petia chu nyurni kadu nga moyo dano ene yede bedo dana me jo me lawo mi ket geni kome pe uri poyo ni ikarame NT parliament eno bedo yakine members me parliament amo wuro limu bore na Zambia gina genu lo kunubere jama do poro mo cheko kan eno pere teketini wote Zambia kunu tiata amoni dana me otiupi Uganda mirbe dana me Uganda put poyo pire heka utaworo me adiki wunai poyo ni karame uporo to kanu kena joga ni uporo pe worrie kana melielo uporo worrie Nandala Mafabi geno muju mo wena yo oya parliament loka tek me ko ni dana mo tiye chalo president me Uganda bala dana mo bero borni pero mo we ko lele be da podu Uganda kara geno lo ya chalo members me parliament en Nandala chielli te choko MP se me ya tung bod gi chakucha dushu wala bole kanya gi ke members me parliament na petikan te ko bigini ba kadum joge na kwero ni borre pe be bod gi we ko borre bin be turgi kare bugishu eno mi kara me o borro to kanal yelo borro worriye te wod burriye achunyo pie mot obero ka umbala mo bero bugishu yurni ko dano ni bero dano me wallangi miru jole wunu ngeni dano bero dano me pie attack dok dano be na me maro jo manu eno bero lemunu molo ame onabo ikanya ubero domo kan na tawni mira gon boru ilamme pasho.
Finally, as I handed the microphone to him, I just want to inform you that if Honorable Kena had been on the ballot paper and his brother Honorable Nathan Nandala, if you see the head, flat bare head, same style of Obota Kenya, you know. So they would have, we need to deny, their strategy was to deny Museveni 51%. And so that we form a government of national unity. Now that the government has frustrated Akena from being on the ballot paper, all the votes that should have gone to Akena should be given to FDC, Honorable Nandala Mafabi. You know that he is your own. But also you need to remember, when Konyi wanted to make the people here suffer, among the people that he pushed with the Cecilia Ogwal, the late, with the late Kule Park, to ensure that peace talk, that Miss President Museveni enters peace talk, was Honorable Nathan Nandala, who wrote a technical report for the late Kule Park, and Cecilia Ogwal. A motion was presented in the House demanding peace talk. Recently, even after, again, we moved a motion to demand government to compensate the people here of the war victims, compensating them for their cows. He also participated in ensuring government removes the degraded tax, because men were not sleeping inside their houses, women were suffering. So all the women of Uganda should support this son of theirs who has sacrificed for them. So with these few words, I want to usher in your son to talk to you. You hear his voice, you just vote the keys. Thank you very much.
Ame podong pejola duong ame tiechung mebe president me Uganda. Mira mi wenge ni yakine jo ame obiru wanya tek Uganda gen kare kelkele Dr. Yufes Kuri Pagi, Honorable Charles Ngirugutu Moege, Cecilia Ogwal ge kire jo papat. Nandala Mafabi enama obiru cho waraga olili lemona besho tutwal meneno ni jowa ame rekti lumcha jo worberu kedgilo melaro lok mekoboni wek jo wa duk pasho me wek kud dugi tumar me Uganda enta binu wenye ye enta choyo gina molo ni policy statement ajota binu tikere ena binu clear ran kopa pol akwa hoko bikom dok me dugu pasho bodjo Nandala Mafabi ena yo bero dana me kwa ni langi long ke jolo me Uganda mir bole queer to twale wo wanje la kan pien tamgi keneno ke rektiene kaun wa kana chunkren yurni queer tungi duju gina no gam mi odong pasenda me mi odano bero president ni jo pepero tuniye mi odong jo binu forming na molo ni unity government bero gameta men ho bero malwak ajo dusha beriye meno ni loga me Uganda bero Uganda ajo dushu dan dog Uganda me jo duju to le yotamiye donc be kuri ko chalman genunu Nandala Mafabi temiye unu kui mewe NTP Uganda ka chelkire riya NTP ni tien ko chalman no wando dwa ko chen what Nathan Nandala Mafabi what ando below culture
where to check time check and we'll come back.
The time check on 94.3 QFM is brought to you by
KCB Bank.
It is 9 p.m.
The star Aryo Angwan Ash Mayabo account. No account me KCB idaki hamoro keken, icha hamoro keken, dangi kanoro keken. KCB Bank, Joaneno Bergi, Uberu Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits, Jaguago, Uberu deposit protection.
Have you packed more of it harbor jelly and harbor foam?
Yes, we packed.
It will protect your skin from skin rashes.
More of it packed.
It is a new improved Morbid Harbor Jelly. So soft and smooth.
It is a Morbid Harbor Jelly.
Tell me, kids, the scent. Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Harbor Jelly and Harbor Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit all day confidence.
Are we ready to win? It's the WRC Safari Rally 2025. Everyone wins. Go, go, go! Scoofies won! Ngata won! Love always wins. Easter happiness all around.
Ang'eyo jo Apol tiuchi hoyid gi mewinyo ni Mr. President komti studio ni atiteni ame ajo apat hena yetia loke believing that many people are beginning to ask questions if truly we have Mr. President in the studio of QFM this evening, because they've been hearing other people speaking from the time we've been introducing, we've been saying, we've been advertising and saying we'll be having a Right Honorable James Nathan Nandala Mafabi, the presidential candidate, and Forum for Democratic Change ticket in the studio of 94.3. Now, Mr. President, you're most welcome to Lango Sub-Region. Welcome to Lira City, and it's an honor to have you in the studio of QFM this evening. What message do you bring to the people of this region, to the people of Lango? And I know very, very well that a greater percentage of Ugandans are now very eager for change. What makes you the right person to deliver the change under Forum for Democratic Change ticket? Let me now give an honor to Honorable Geoffrey Ekanya to usher in Mr. President to speak to the people of Lango and Uganda at large. Thank you.
We desire fixing the economy, man in our pocket. Let me invite our national vice chairperson, Centenary Franco,
okay,
to say a few words, and then His Excellency Tubi will come on board.
All right.
Centenary.
Thank you, listeners of Lango. I have a very special place in the people of Lango's hearts. I was telling somebody that the late Oit Ojok is the one who recruited and sponsored my father into the UNLA military to go to Munduli for training. And therefore, when I'm in Lango, I feel at home. I traveled from Kasese yesterday by tarmac. And when we arrived in Bulisa, I told the people who were on board, I said, don't worry, we seem to be going to another country, but we are still in Uganda. And that was reasons because of the bad road network that we've been traveling on since we left the tarmac road in Bulisa up to now. Actually, some of the parts of our vehicles, we have them in the boot because we have bad roads here in Lango, which is very unfortunate. I know that the late Milton Obote believed in equitable distribution of resources, but the change of regime did not answer the question of everybody sharing the national cake. I remember very well, if I'm not mistaken, Lango has a minister for health, but I don't know if that minister of health reflects the quality of health services that we have here in Lango sub-region. We have a chief whip who is supposed to mobilize the entire NRM caucus in parliament to pass laws that are favorable to the citizens of this country And I know he's very passionate when he talks on radio and TV, when he is mobilizing. I don't know what has happened to my brother Obua, why he has not evoked the powers to ensure that we have very good roads in Lango. I am disappointed with him. I must say, I'm a Catholic, I'm very honest. You don't deserve the types of roads that we have been driving on from the time we arrived here in Lango.
The good thing is that Lango as a region has so many members of parliament from different political parties.
Today, I would like to appeal to the people of Lango that you have an opportunity to make a decision that will transform your lives in terms of service delivery. We have only one candidate who is capable of bringing you to the national grid of service delivery without fear or favor, and that is none other than the Right Honorable James Nandala Mafabi, who is even your neighbor here in Eastern. For me, I come all the way from Western Uganda. I can tell you we are fairly served, and therefore it is your time. It is up to you. The ball is in your courts. Akena is my very good friend. We speak. And I want to tell you, he told me exactly what the Honorable Ekanya said, that we need to take charge of Lango, Northern Uganda, Eastern Uganda, and some parts of Western Uganda where we come from to make the change that is desirable. You remember in 1985, when President Museveni came to power, he said he had come to resolve the question of security in this country. That has since been resolved. Today we are talking about improving the lives of the people, and we come with a message of fixing the economy and people having money in their pockets. That is the current problem that Uganda is facing, and we have a technical expert in economic matters, both principle and practice. I can tell you we have the best candidate to fix the current economic challenges that Uganda faces. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
May I therefore invite His Excellency Right Honorable James Nandala Mafabi to speak to Ugandans and give them the package that is detailed and explain to the people what fixing the economy, money in the pocket means in real terms. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my brother. You said your daughter's what?
Daddy's daughter, yes.
Daddy's daughter. Well, first, we're very grateful that we have Daddy's daughter. Kopango.
Kope.
Elio mabe.
Atiabe. Apoyo bini lao.
Well, when I went back to when I left Lango and I went back to Mbale, I forgot most of my Nangi. But I'm so grateful that I'm on this radio today. We want to thank the management of
QFM.
QFM?
Yes.
Is it Quality FM?
Yes, Q stands for quality.
Oh, thank you so much. So much for giving us an opportunity to be here, and also for people who are listening to us. And as my younger brother Ekanya has said, we want to thank all the people who have welcomed us since we came in the region. Before I make so many comments, I have a team of my brothers here whom I've come with. Of course, they are colleagues, members of parliament, who are our next members of parliament.
Yes.
I would love them to really greet their people in their own language so that the people can hear them. And also, of course, I have my younger brother, Newton Isaac, knows how to translate many of the things. He will summarize most of our speaking. And we see how to see it. I have my chairman, Obote. Dennis is sitting behind me, and I'm happy that he's here. So, without wasting time, I would like my brothers to really greet our people. I have Isaac Angiro, Root North. I have my brother Fred Obote, my Lord Mayor. I have my brother Moses Etiang, my local councillor of City. I have my brother Emmanuel Ongom, Okwel, the MP for Ajuri County. I have my brother Obo Martin, Councillor City. I have my brother Ronald Ongom, also councillor in the city. So I would love all of you to greet our people and so to run quickly our program.
Thank you so much, our president, Nathan Nandala Mafabi. Mono nye en wana kobuno eni na mauloko kedwa chichiko. Gineno kobuko ni poyo mebinu ilao mejole iroma malum poyo QFM mejole wa studio kan kendo poyo langi duch ametia winyo radio. Uende kobune put pe wora bor. Emito ni kong jo amene binu keda meti yot kan tutwalere jo amete chungo yilao kane ne kong moru dakika chiela loro endere duke te gonyi utien kop me yiko kobikom lonyo me Uganda amene ti wot kede yakina pingi me kwa yokwi do atamu ni peme balo chawa wek jo amo kwa na nyingino gindong nyute Demo tu ko bogina check te ko bu microphone bodano kena poye mate ko chako kede venga tin bangera tu mini poye mate
wa chake doko po chutwal boru ate chwech ame watin very gum very studio kan ya yo matek ni otikere winwa ako kana me te otero radio me winyo QFM akaro mere President wa His Excellency Nandala Mafabi ama kerotek maybe de la okan kar kono bele tino bele tek bien program ko bele kitanyo miru bet kere pi permet yo onen politia wo ni chief e pote mo yeno o winwa ania joka ngiru gut moy parando la lao ania tia kutu wake ya yo mateke tin wan ubini studio kan kanale yiru mimi yungeyo options ame wan tie kede I line netela ilebe president bino wakan akonyo mimi wangeyo atiteni kadi imagine karomo mayera ibet kene ngata me itamiri watenu ngupore twero dai to keta nyimi ichie pingata no bedo ke records eno weho ni ticha pole no tio level le kwanere ngeche no dongo kede mewani bero tieni Uganda loro jina timere kare yunge mwa beach bere menyutu ni tela onyo lo chalwa tie man ka lo chalwa tie jama tino tina me mio lo chalwa bere tie wotingo yodusti level a shell me PM me bero tela me bero president you may be LC5 Parliament Dr. Ping na LC1 be na kodi be ni beru kito Mario mi chawa mengeyo mena ber ya kina jo ameti nyimi wa tikere candidate sabor twal Uganda wange eto kai ni ker te winya be mi nyo mena ber mene eno kanori pi karalach ame kado din penu cha me poro chao kene irwen joko pete ngeyo ni atiteni nyomi robet kala kiti eta wando tan kiti bero kene tieni ka wano ti kiti mekelo ngwa wano to timo anyien nyiu bero kene na nyen ni be ngwa wano ti okobo so president wani tiker nyen mere anyien na mangita nongu chawa temi wa ngeyo dushu jine tebe kala me moko kaneno bel nena nyena merwate kirjin eka iteye ya titeni amema no bel amema me yitwa keta nyimi bore eno keno belo ni ango kana ngati nyimi no yaye mema ne yaye pata chela mauri Uganda kanlo ni FDC Ameoya on your transforming from a reform agenda. And kaya nanomot kita wano ubino ubela arkede mi beroke mo Roma ni yatiteni one tela ma FDC po chui kom dano baro chung a chalo institution ame mi ojo do beroke don ame tani ye kunu gino do democracy ni tio Roma me mio yo do beroke kare ni achiel ke ne la tabela chiel yo do te woti go pa chiel Mio na telo tola umachawan again tia temuchung ginario ginji engineer poa telo tola bere pe tetu na ni are ino amane ntie chung do kwa yuni unde tika chawan me winyi wa be eto ya yoma teki no chawa pirwa po yana tek anu joka ngiro kutumaya po yuno
po yoma tek mono Isaac ujok tie chung rure malo will poko bi humanono anapo wi women ni no bera mak bendera me party me FDC.
India paro kaneti numero nina president.
North. He only talked about the candidate for presidency, forgot about himself. Thank you. Honorable Moses Etiang.
Bera poi tol mina Newton. Ame to shaman me poi win radio pi jalo chawu. Aput power gigi moga chega me to kobo. Hania Etiang Moses. Atia chunga chala council Amelia City East kuna worry. E council Amelia ditere. Ami to chwalo kwenana mekumu ipacha pola papa bero no chim jo apol chiuru nyo warigi do ana mi ko kanu ndi uchunyu gini timere kono ka ako ni ono ho ka chwa boruot penena ya de chunywa mono pipacha pola papa ame peki de tu por yo ko gina mi ko bachi shegane mano bero karabe ame wana tu karuni e ko peyera yera na cha hele Roma ping na Roma malu do ngoti apenyo ni nyo karo ken ngame de kobotini kila tela ngo kara wana yeru no nyo wana tio moyo obedo kara ber me atami o tiru keda ber kun tio tamu kun ngato petia rocho tamwa me weke neno kiringara nga ame wana tio meto me bini tela achama ni tiang Moses atiu pi mo kipiarewa chel kuna tiu keda NGOs atetichi districts piarewa biro Uganda so ka kopetela anatiu da tikere ngechi yere ngo kami to ko bachi shekene ni entela wana tu mito ni shahare ping na hamalu ma shero mitatela ame marlao atela ame kobu ko bateteni atela me tikira wa hay kom lao atela ame chunye ber pe lao na atela me woro ba en kiro tela wana tu mito ina nono apati manono ka wano mio ni chiene tele wa yo wano ruwe nyuno ko etana metukobokani omoho tama wunu oto yero ngato yero no pe umi upati umi dano kere personality kere character dana shela maweki itengi yo kweni ketu kwirie pienen yera no wan woruni yeni ba oberu kere tuwer ni wona eto miro tino kere yora ba pepe chamo chawa tama we kumege na okene ginang me gigi moga chega megen tikere apu watek aniti young Moses achung yera city is representing city is division kuna worry the councillor did my mayor Poyo.
Right, thank you so much, Moses. Let's go to the mayor himself.
Metodo ko pocha duong bolang duch ametia winyo wa kano Poyo ba tek mekelu pienjo Paul tiame ya wor wa ko anika kan abedo Fredo Borre enti posta natini Fredo Borre amobera baha ana yati amako bendera meberu city mayor melira city adati atamni wuni oho kanno mi kerunu genu duch borra pien podo bera chake mani binu chung position mayorship eta bedo a politician na chon ana donye FDC imo hatukumia rio keda dek ame ata lawyer the greater patch atial chairman FDC kareno unu kole put pe unu yam lang put pe unu kwani adang put pe ene kare cello obede kare me multi party referendum committee ametinu kwelu kina molu ni multi-party. Omiyo yera ni tintia waranyim. Ana bina participating ye attack to twa. Adangi kare no, ana bina no 89.9%. Meme yo multi-party referendum committee donyo jota chako yera in 2006. Itunu kede nahati. Macha sana bina ya ipati ma FDC atedo hoko movement eta bina duogo ko cheni UPC. Ginomio ana bina ya atewo movement karame atunu kunu atenu ngoni mono transparency peti. Transparency peti pati nasha. Na tina duogo chu FDC no atama ni aduogi party ama obedo nyia.
Sure.
So we are just talking here. No, I think...
Right, when radio or where to check, hotel wagachien.
Mon ke chome awara. Kai tamu mirwa luak chingwa wene.
Ka an, bafod ngat mo ke ken pod donye ka chatu chama, alego ki melwa ko chingi ki chabun, ka gitie ka donyo, pineno ni ki gwa ko padanu weng. Dogo miero guti ki chabun, ikom loga daba, enu ni efungwa me donyo.
Anwa tia ki chabun, ka a ki chabun. La fonya wanyo ni, konya menero kwiti.
Enzo ila ten enini. Itie ka doye lopa ludero. Amba, alwa tia ki chabun, ka tiro lwa ko la tiama. Ki bene, lo fout pa tia ko piatro me.
Ka lwa ko tia, inwe lwa chi. Te loka ni, wanu inwa biru ki ching maleng.
Kwa mano akibot National Hand Washing Secretariat ki konyo akibot UNICEF. Agriculture Shows Uganda brings you the 2025 Lango Regional Agriculture and Trade Expo, taking place from 28th October to 1st November at Lira Mayor's Garden. The expo tracks and showcases efforts made in agriculture and trade development in the region under a theme, Smart Farming for Resilient Future and Wealth Creation. Don't miss business-to-business platforms, Innovation Village, and daily free-farmer trainings on various enterprises like poultry, fish farming, coffee growing, and lots of fun for children. To book your exhibition space now, call 0393-256-994. This show is brought to you by Agriculture Shows Uganda in partnership with Agriculture Sector Network, Ministry of Agriculture, Bank of Uganda, MTN Momo, NBS TV, and Brian Agriculture Events Limited.
Are you looking for curtain rods, grass cutting machines and all its spares, padlocks and door locks of all sizes and types, weighing scales, both digitalized and hanging scales, compressors, both fuel and electric, tape measures and woodwork machines, taplings, dog bells, leash and chains, nails of all types, U-nails for fencing, barbed wires, ladders of all types, MDF bolts in all colors, plywood, block boards, silicone tubes, safety and protective gears such as helmets, reflector jackets and suits, hose pipes and all other water pipes, ventilation mesh for rearing chicken, rabbits, pillar stones and terrazels, and all general construction materials and tools. Welcome to Trust General Divine Hardware, located at Bala Road, opposite Bank of Africa. For all our customers in Lango, Acholi sub-region and beyond, we thank you so much for always shopping at Trust General Divine Hardware. For more info, please call 0393 23 8028.
Call 0800 333 330. Toll free for free delivery within Kampala. TNCs apply.
Metutero radio gi atia koro winyo loka president poda team assuring yin yes otie karachel kede president yekan aman adwong a president me forum for democratic change amentia chung pibedo a president me lobo Uganda yera ametia binoni ite a ticket me FDC ibedo chege kede radio ni ite winyo lokere yore karachel kede yore ametia lok obero jo ametia mako bendera me FDC ame hatia chung iruam hapopat ilirasiti akan karachel kede ilao ame ogogwero meginu tie ye kanu tie na tinni man me mokobore ani party me forum for democratic change atie kede guri ame ochwinda ilao atie kede jo ame ginda ngoti utero pinkan ame atela iruam hapopat amonono ilobo Uganda kan pilwak melao hapoyo
Yo po me do chen do akameti oho ana ko bi ala be do Fredo Borre ame abera baha atia makobendera me FDC me be do meya me li rasiti ana tike de ngecha me olago tek itela ana tike de ngecha me olago ratek itela daitelo city ubedu giname yomiya mechel ana bedo da char wheel da tela me city miro bedo char wheel de jo ame ana bino me telo ni ubedo jo ame odon city ba lera city kan ti jo ame o chato wheel chon ame da do kom gi pot pe eti chawani ti jo ame anyen kede kara ni ubedo kara me nyen ame ti amito atela menu wiye o chwisho ame romo wot kede jo amenuti karane ana bilu kubere kegi obilu nendo ni mono kana me obilu city jama meti mere yetia Paul kana me choholwa mo choho yugi ame mono da obilu ti ame amito ngata me ngeo kira me manage kana me choholwa ngumi riyot kom mono da noti amito ngata me ngeo kira me manage pichawani aduong president tino bino kan eno numero wakilo he city borwa kan endi gumara chamo bino ngolo ko eto en bino explaining mono neno kano bino yiko atamo ni peme balo chamere
luak metea winyo radio QFM chawani Nyao Luoni Ongom, Emmanuel Okwel. Nyao Luoni Ongom, Emmanuel Okwel. Anabela Tinma Leptong, kuna yai ya Juri County. Tinu ni probero nina wa. Bero nina duong flag bearer wa me FDC. Aduong Nandala Mafabi. Anatamu nyalu wahe. Yana duong president kati area ni mere luok imie tek chun ni area ameniti ye ni obedo area amejo ameniti ye aduong Mafabi ta kwa yukwir borwa obino kunkobuni luak melao mie kwir pien uminera kena Jimmy kita do government me Uganda kwero koni pe chungi endo etiara chalo replacement yen ma ena be UPC achon karamo kadonya parliament donya temporary me UPC don't work anpa ko bamena Paul Pien an kile nera ko ke nyu bero kare mere. Jiri nyo intinu wa kere jegele atino. Pien an pe nyu amaru di kopi studio total. An nera maro te dero. Pien an akwenyi te dero. Eto tin ende ko boni ko ana bini studio. Ana alwa hai. Don kwacha ka te chella tiporu luak me UPC Dutch, luak me NRM Dutch, luak me FDC Dutch, kalibero DP, ngatameka kila loha loha kuwawa, amari ya muchamo chana ilobo Uganda, amami jichene abedi jichawa, abedo ka Nandala Mafabi. Dongana kwa yu dusha, luang melao ya juri, luang mela ya leptong, utuke, lira, uyam, kole, kwania, apach, molatar, dokolo. Ni uberi unuke de chunya pe attack. Ni akali be datin wajima kena pe chung, eto tike Nandala Mafabi. Pami tabal chawa mere, pianadung Mafabi mirulohi, atengi ngido yi atino, uberi atin chura. Kami bibuye atino daine nuni atela enono amobino me konyo wanwak me lao ichan dong luak chawane we hajwal microphone bora duong Nandala Mafabi.
Right to Poyatek, Honorable Hongom Hokwel, Hachalo Neno Kobo, ni Hobino Hameyokare, Bang Hadwong, her president, Amantie, his studio, my radio QFM, Otieno Meninatin. Mr. President will speak to the people of Lango and to the people of the country at large. Right, we hame akare bot Adana Chel, hame atiodong, ekadong, utajolo president. Joaria metudong utedong jolo president atirati kita menena kubikede party me FDC atie kede huchu hilwam hapo party kerotela hiyilao kan petia binogini chako atongo bung atoa entu tie karachel kede luidge ame hati uguru kwa hiyilao kan. Yes.
Yeah, we have Pui Tutual moderator up in 19 te poyo beroba ame mio mot me ko poti komwa yora chelo no date poyo management me radio Q me wek geno mio wa chawa metamani otum imalo message nyokwena me wano tie kede ai queer ametia bino ni an nyao bedo Ronald Ngom ana bedo bulu achel ameti party me FDC api beroba umio dok jo bulli me FDC Melira City ugena ni anatelgi chalo chairperson Youth League me FDC Melira City donc mia bedo keda waka attack total api party ame anatiye yora chelo dang weka po uno win radio total mewe kuni jalo chao matamani unang winywa win kwena pera tech me wana chokel boro win kwena pera tech me presidential flag bearer wa me FDC tia keluboro apere teki anate chu anyapo chuad me bino Melira City East Division aite bendera me FDC anakatu kena bien jonge unian kakatu ananaka pe aboro anabedo meno chunyere na anatikere geni noak me anyapuch aginomi ya arideni me bino talogi City Council Melira City East Division chawa petia ber total wanatamani aweka ride abora awota okene maweke nang moru ento koren pepi chawa anena mi winge ya jendana dong lwak me nyapoch awun mede unu kede bedo kede gen kede mara metinyo tuni koma kare kede nino aromo ka electoral commission uyabe wa yoro me kwa yokwir.
Yes.
Anatemi yungeyo ngoame anatie karachel piru kede ngoame anatwero timo piru ako man piobana kede lobana
Poyo Tutual
ametani out bully mewek uchoa kuno party president wa ame FDC mono honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi ba me polo mi wandu chugum.
Right, mono won come Bulu, won come Youth League, Forum for Democratic Change, mono Ronald Hongom, udong kay ngara chel ke ken umiyedang dakika chel ke ken ekadong utemi yokare but a president amelo kedelwak melao mono do awota bo angongolo. Yes.
Luak dusyo meti otan President wa MFDC MP sa level papat Mayor Councillors kedi moderator Nia Loni Abo Martin Abacha John Powe kena ma chiel mecha kuchung Elma na ma dekedo ene Ana chung ngatangwet Rubini Cities Division Ame tuka kwaye luak kamang wata kan maya ye Uringe unga na bedo Ana piu kedi community Da ngeo pe hameti community na Pero tinga torkene Kaya binu mi ya unu kwiru kita ye mi ya unu kedi kwiru ni Ana biyo na niad Ami udunu kunyere Ade kelo download rama papat Ade kuwera rama malu Mene ni service delivery Utunu boru Kita mi utunu kedi kukome
Opoya.
Nia podonga boma kitu Bala pepa dama gona machella ken
Opoya Martin.
Ere mi ka wiwil ka chal
Opoya.
Nene kwa reni ane no
Opoya Mateko Martin.
Bijawa Abiru me yu manifest now lil Nika pore
Mono nino mera beratie. Mono nino mera beratie.
Imam yagi kakan Program kani waraji
Opoya. Atidu mera nina president win radio, but it is an honor for the president to give his people time to speak like he has given it. Once again, Mr. President, you're welcome to Lango. You're welcome to Lira. You're speaking to the people of Lango and Uganda at large. But it is of great importance to go back to my first question of what brings you to this region. What brings you to Lango? Very many are eager to listen to you. Say hello to the people of Lango and we proceed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Doreen.
Daughter's what?
Daddy's daughter, yes.
Daddy's daughter.
Yes.
Doreen, thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank my team I'm with for being with me, because if I came here alone, you would assume I'm an abandoned person. Well, you know, I'm an orphan, but when you have your own people,
yes,
you are happy. Of course, I've worked with my younger brothers, like Geoffrey Kanya, the ones they have mentioned themselves, the Jonathan Ibaru with my personal assistant, and my brothers and sisters I met in the region. Of course, we welcomed yesterday in Lango region, and we entered from Amlata, Dokoro. Today we're in Aliptong. We want to thank Leader City, the one which is accommodating us until we leave maybe on Monday. We're in Yotuke. We couldn't make it in time for Leader City, but when we came, there were a lot of people waiting for us. I want to assure the people of City, we're going to give you another day to come back. We're going to come back here. Election has been done by Geoffrey, but to add on, I am a teacher by profession, so I'll talk a lot of things about teachers. I am a farmer. I grow coffee, and if you are aware, there were 3 cash crop crops in Uganda. It was coffee,
cotton,
which is black gold, cotton, which is white gold, tea, which is money magnet. So you have seen how they are. And those are the cash crops we got. That's where we used to get our cash. And if you make a country without cash, we are in danger. And that's where we are here. Why we come in manifesto is the FDC manifesto. Of course, this manifesto is found for those who have internet, www.fdc.org. And that's where our manifesto is found, a soft copy, and also we have some hard copies. Of course, even social media, we have made sure they are available. Now, I was brought in politics by old men at that time, and you are aware when my brother Ekanya has elaborated them, Of course, one of another one was, they were in that group with Professor Nabdele, one of the other one. But unfortunately, all of them, Biakika, the late Biakika, they're all now, most of them are the late. So I'm here to defend the late people. And I'll also, at the end, talk about how Dr. Milton Obote was really nurturing young boys and young girls to really run the country, because he was a person who built a nation. We have a manifesto which I've said, but I would love, our manifesto is put into 5 pillars, which 5 pillars are the following, which I want to read to the people of Lango. Then after that, I'll go to explain the Constitution of Uganda, your rights, and that's now legal, and what really stands for us. But our mission first, the mission of the Forum for Democracy is work for a socially, economically, and politically transformed Uganda, where citizens, men, women, youth, and the children live a life of dignity, have access to equal opportunity, and become masters of their own destiny. This is elaborated very well. We want people to have dignity, enjoy their country, and nobody applied to go to be born in Uganda. This is a serious mission. And this also follows the Constitution of Uganda, which clearly states what Ugandans should have. And some of them are elaborate. Now, our pillars of the manifesto are pillar number 1, generate employment opportunities. We need employment opportunities. Why people are falling? But of course, our theme is fixing the economy, money in our pockets. And we have nowhere all of us belong. We have the agricultural sector, we have the infrastructure sector, but all of these have jobs. So we have done it in 5 pillars so that you will understand what our interests would be. And I'll just make them in a snapshot so that you understand where I get them, and look at how we're going to create jobs. So number 1 is generating employment opportunities. That's agriculture, the engine of job creation. You know, agriculture, our country is 80%, and agriculture, 80% of the population is in agriculture. And now the agriculture is now our leading backbone in job creation. We have the coffee sector, which we call the black gold for job creation. We have the fisheries, the blue economy for jobs. We have the livestock production for job creation. Cotton, the white gold for job creation. Tea, the money magnet. The cooperatives, the driver of inclusive growth. You know cooperatives, you know how the cooperative work. We will try to cooperatives. You know where cooperative means, if I'm alone to go to the market, I might be cheated. But if we're collectively together, we shall have what we call collective bargain. That's why we talk of land cooperative union, and that's why we talk about little spinning mill, and of course this region is basically the gold sector. Then we have, under that pillar, we have trade and industry. We must deal with trade, we must deal with industry, because trade, after producing, you must sell. There will be the trading and the marketing. Then the industry to do agro industry and other, because even if we have banana fiber, we'll create mats. It's not for agro byproducts which can be used. We'll create mattresses. And that's one of the things which I saw in India, that it can be done. You know, banana fiber can even create a mattress, can create bags, can create whatever. Even tables, by the way. Okay, furniture I'm giving. Then under that we have also mineral development, oil and gas industry, and tourism. That's our pillar number 1. There are so how each of them comes to work. Then the second pillar is strategic investments. These are strategic investments. That's the roads. We have discovered roads in Uganda are too expensive. To do one road, to do 1 kilometer is $3 million, which is about 11 billion shillings. Yet the cost of the road is stones, those aggregates, sand, water, cement, and tar, and those trucks you see coming to run to do the compression and whatever. The 4 items, the roads, the stones, the sand, the water, the cement are here in Uganda. What you only bring is a small component, which is tar, to make those stones tie together. Then those trucks which come on work, those equipment you see are tax-free. After even being used here, they are taken back. And who drives, who are the laborers? The big laborer is Ugandan force, even the drivers of those trucks. So eventually you will discover that spending $3 million, that's 11 billion on 1 kilometer, all this money goes out in foremost wastage, in foremost corruption, and of course profits to those companies, because most of them are foreign companies, so the money is taken out. Yet, research shows 1 kilometer of road should go for not more than $150,000, which is about 540 million. So every 1 kilometer currently done in Uganda, while losing 19 kilometers. That is dangerous for our country, which we need a strategic intervention with new leadership to ensure that we get 20 kilometers instead of getting 1 kilometer. That's why we're talking of theft in Uganda of 10 billion per year. Now I stopped on roads. We have railway. Railway is the best one because railway is good for transporting goods and people. Now our railway sector is finished. We have water, we have air transport, we have ICT, that's information and communication technology. The world has gone ICT, whether you want it or not. We need to do it. Every young man, young woman, even the old men nowadays and the old women have phones. They're checking WhatsApp, they're on social media, they're trying to check the prices of their products, and that's how we want to do it. Then we have energy. That's the power. You know, we have hydropower, we have geothermal power, thermal power, wind power. These are all available, but now we're only sticking on one power, solar power. We're sticking on hydropower from Ginger. And what happened is that the solar now has come in, but we are not it's not yet even a well harvest so that or harness so that people can enjoy the solar, whereby we have a sun throughout the year in Uganda. We have land, we have environment, we have water, we have security. Now, pillar number 3 is human capital development. We have, of course, diminishing quality of education. This is where I'm going to talk to you about a teacher. Salary disparities, where they say some teachers teachers get high pay, others get low. You see, you get a math teacher gets high pay than an English teacher, yet is teaching in English, which English was taught by an English teacher, so that he's able to teach math in English. And now, why do you do that? It looks the country is there running in crisis. So you need individuals who are better now to run the country, so that you see better quality education in our country. Now we have been here, we have walked, all the schools are closed. So in the ground now people were seeing cows grazing. While government schools are closed, private schools are what? Working. And when President Museveni was issuing an instruction that science teacher paid the highest salary and arts paid lower, he never talked about the ones in the private sector. And most of these individuals, the ministers, the MPs, the rich people, are taking their children to private. So while hours of the poor people are at home strike, theirs are already they're at school. And the exams start on Monday. Theirs will do performing well. Then they will come and say, these villagers are useless. What? Because they know that you don't reason beyond. And that's why we are in this election, to tell you that these so-called villagers are with their vote, it matters a lot. I was very impressed with one bishop today who was saying that don't sell your vote for sugar, salt, 1,000. That was very impressive from that bishop. And I wish all of people of Uganda could understand that even if you have got sugar, drink it. Eat it because they brought it for you, but put your vote at the right price. So lack of national school feeding policy, as we heard my brother Geoffrey Kenya, we brought a policy, we said Uganda should have our children fed. How can a child go to school from 7 a.m. up to 6 p.m. without feeding? I've never seen we parents going to dig from morning to evening without what? Feeding. We will dig after some time, we go in sufficient grants, as much as we have, you can get a peak, I think, primary, they give them what, 12,000? Secondary, about 100. I have not got the figure as well, but we have it in our manifesto. We intend to increase those grants. Then school high drop-up is so high, very high school drop-up, and whatever happens. Now we come to sports and creativity. You people, you know, Achibwe, this Achibwe Stadium is named after one of the biggest athletes. Now where we should support athletes. Every school must have school facilities, not only a playground. It should have even where people, young kids can do tennis, can do other games in the school and whatever. And the stadiums are very easy to build. The Speaker of Parliament has built a huge stadium. If a speaker, an individual can build, what about the government? So that's why we say we're going to invest more money in sports and creativity, and we have, of course, a lot of less infrastructure and low funding in the sports. And we have a lot of youth now. Of course, some have become old men and women. If they had been used in the sports, would have earned a lot of money, and they would have also been better to themselves. Of course, that has led to failure to nurture talents. Then we have the health. Of course, health is very interesting. And objective, of course, all of you know objective number, I think, number 10, medical services. That every Ugandan should be provided free and quality medical services. I was surprised, I was here today, I saw an ambulance, Land Cruiser ambulance, written on Obua or Jura County. When did he become government to provide? These are people who go and get ambulances from government, then start writing on their names. Because it's, in fact, under normal circumstances, the person to provide medical services health, and so that we have a health economy. Our plan number 4 is dealing about leadership and governance, and that's what has eroded us, people of Uganda. We need to establish inclusive, value-based politics. We have to eliminate corruption. You see, corruption is finishing our country. President Museveni has tried to talk about corruption, but he cannot manage it. It's now, in 40 years, he has failed. It's new blood. We want to thank him for what he has done for 40 years, but now he needs new blood to deal with that, because the people who are now doing corruption, and now he can't fight them, because I think they have really controlled him. Then we have Uganda debt burden. We need to power. You see, you talk about a local government. local government. That means you should, if you have said people should have resources to run their local government. You should not control them at the center. That's why we believe that 60% of our budget, of health, a portion of the health, what should be really given to what? At local government, so that the investment is done at local government. Of course, talk about justice system, those abuses of the justice system, poor quality judgments, armchair investigations. These are things we think must be dealt with in our country. Of course, then we need talk about peaceful transition. We need a transition. Whether you want to know what Uganda needs a transition at this current state. Then human rights, we must be real respected human. Article 29 of our constitution talks about human rights and how you must respect. People are free to associate. People are free to freedom of speech. You are supposed to do what freedom of movement. But we are not doing it. Everything is being curtailed by a few people, which is not allowed. Of course, then we have to talk about social heritage development, legislation which is poorly processed, and of course, this parish model, we have seen it, with not a good legislation, and that's why we come for us. We believe we are coming with a village model, because you cannot develop a country from the middle. You must start from down. That's why for us in our plan is that every village will be given 100 million per year for 5 years. That's 500 million for purpose to deal with that village, and where every village must have water, clean water. You see, to get water is very easy. You can get water from down. Today I got an old man giving me an idea that you cannot have metallic pipes to pump water. We can have a plastic one, which even you don't have to bring that in them. So this is possible, and it can be done to change our country. Then we have interest groups. Of course, interest groups, we talk about the women, the youth, the PWs, the elderly, the pensioners, and veterans. Of course, unfortunately, when we talk about women, we forget the Bible says man, and man means both a woman and women. Of course, for me as a man and other men, they have assumed that we can fight on our own. But the women are a bit weaker sex. We must need support in form of loans, small loans, and capital grants, so that they're able to do business. The youth must be employed, so they also need a clear government policy to handle it, because somebody was telling us that our youth sometimes take marijuana because they have nothing to do, which is true. You don't get them drunk and whatever because they think they want pastime. And that's why we come up with a deliberate policy for the youth, that for us, we are going to give the youth border as well in the border sector. For example, I will give you an example of a border. The cost of a border, if it reaches Uganda, can't be more than 2.4 million shillings. But because of taxes, middlemen, interest, mention it, the border here is sold, I think, at 6 million. And when the border boy goes to get it on loan, by the time he finishes paying, he has paid money equal to 4 borders. He cannot even afford to buy a trouser for himself, a shirt for himself. He cannot keep his family. This is just exploitation of the highest order. So that's why we come with a deliberate effort that those who want to deal in the border sector business, you'll be given borders for 2 million shillings, and you'll pay this over a period of 5 years. That means every year you are going to pay 400,000. This will go a long way to build that part of the economy, create those jobs, so that those people even can now move from border, go and own trucks, go and own minibuses, own shops, own land. And if you own land, you start digging and doing what? So that the developer and the country moves up. So these are the things we are looking at with seriousness as we love, because this country is ours. Now, clean water is objective number 11, Roman 11. Education is an objective. In our constitution, that's our constitution. Objectives, these are the first principles we must go to. Objective number 18. In Roman 18. Those are medical services number 20, clean water is number 21. Now, of course, Roman XX1, XX, and X8. So I am coming here to tell you that the people of Uganda now in leadership have not led in the right way to make sure that Ugandans can enjoy their country. Because none of us applied to God to be born in Uganda. Now, there we come to, of course, equitable development. The law says that you should develop the country equitably. But taking cognizance of those which are less developed so that they can also be developed faster to mark even marking, he may not mark, he can even give children 100% if he's in a good mood, yes, they have failed. Or he can give them 0-0 so that at the end of the day, he said, in a case, they should end up like that. That must be dealt with. Under Article 26, it talks about nobody is supposed to be deprived of property. Nobody should lose anything, whether cattle, whether land, whether what. Why are people being deprived of their property? We must deal with that. It's a serious issue which must be handled. Which I want to state that people who have lost their cattle should be compensated. Those in cooperatives who have lost their property through cooperatives must be compensated. Those whose land has been grabbed must be given their land or compensated, whether whatever form, so that people can be brought to equal footing, so that they are put in a position they would be if their property was not what? Not lost. Poverty in Uganda is terrible. And you see, I feel bad when I hear that the GDP of Uganda is 6.8%, 7% and whatever. The GDP is growth. Now, the growth is in who? If you came here in Lango and I went and I corrected the people of Lango and said, show me your growth, he would only show you how much money has borrowed, which is working. If you get his balance sheet, the balance sheet will be like this. He has a house, a small house, but is living on credit, so he has a debt here. If they came and closed him immediately, he would have nothing. That's why many people have lost properties. Now, if majority of the people are living in such a life, who is this growth for? This growth, you will get it, is in the form of people who are stealing every day out in and out. Now, if you are talking of a growth of a road network, now a road network has been, say, 1 kilometer of $3 million, yet it should be $150,000. The growth which you are talking of $3 million is exaggerated by more than 19 times. You understand? So now who has taken this? Might be a Chinese, might be what, most I think now the Chinese, who did the road and all the money went to where? To China. Or has stayed here in a few pockets, that these few pockets where the man has said cannot be seen and cannot be for all of us. So now this growth which we are talking about is not translating into the people of Uganda. So we need a leadership, we need a country which can make sure that the growth we're talking about, it translates in the people's hands. And that's why we're saying we need to have it thrive, so that we need to fix the economy. And when we fix the economy, so that the locals, the owners of the country are in business, are in the employment sector, are in this construction sector. And when they make the money goes in their pockets, instead of the money moving from their pockets to other people's pockets. Now, when the country makes money, when people have money, for example, I have now money in my pocket. I'll go to the shop, I'll buy 2 kilograms of sugar, I'll buy 2 bars of soap, I'll buy meat, I'll buy beer, I'll buy soda. Now, that's me, my brother, mom is buying whatever. Now, there will be a demand for sugar. There will be a demand for soap. There will be a demand for beer. Now, if beer is being grown, the one which is from sorghum, there will be demand for sorghum to produce what? Beer. If there is a demand for sorghum to produce beer, there will be demand for laborers to come and work in farms and will produce what? Sorghum. Sugar canes will be demanded, soap manufacture will be demanded. Now, that means you are creating jobs, and as the demand for products increases or services, because people have now money, there will be demand for people to work. So jobs will be created and more money will come in people's pocket. And as more money comes in the economy, you have a taxation system. Instead of taxing a few, you will have many people to tax. And when you tax, you don't need a big percentage. I'll give you an example. If you had one person, for example, was getting 1 million, and you're taxing him at 30%, you are getting 300,000. Now you have 2,000 people, 2,000, each also getting 1 million, that would be 2 million. You don't need to tax at 30%. You need tax at say 5%. And 5%, you're getting the same money or even more than what it is.
Because there are many people.
Now you're talking, my sister. Because there are very many people now, and you get more revenue from many people, but at a small rate. And when you do that, you are leaving a lot of money, which we call disposable money, for the people to work. And the economy every day will be growing. You will not get anger on the streets. You get this anger on the street is a result of poverty. You ask somebody, how are you? He wants to beat you. Can you show me? Because he's angry, he's not so sure of the next meal, he's not so sure he's going home and life. Even this policemen and the security, why they are angry? It's not anything. They have left, their salaries are too small, they have no houses, they have families to look after, they are coming to work, they are telling them go and work, they come with already anger because they are already at home having nothing. What do we have even on our manifesto for security organization? We are saying we will have improve better salaries, you will have homes to stay in, your children will study for free from primary up to university. This all we're raising is possible in this country. Now what needs new leadership. You need people who know economics. You know people who know financial management. You need people who know integrity. You need people who know accountability. And of course, among the 9 candidates, the 8 candidates you have, I'm the only one who has that. I have worked, I have studied it, I have practiced it, I have advised governments, Kenya, Tanzania, India, Ghana, among others. Others who have given them advice, they have refused. Those which have taken our advice have moved from low income earning to higher income countries. Now, this one, I come with experience in that area, and that's why I'm saying, Zame 7, when he went to the bush, he went because they were saying there was insecurity in the country. The issue of insecurity of guns has been solved. Now, the biggest insecurity now we have is poverty, and this poverty can be only solved by a person who knows. My sister, Deborah, I want
Doreen.
Doreen.
Fortunately, Deborah is my follower, so still not bad.
Okay, my sister Doreen, my daughter also, because I'm sure I'm equal to your father's age. I want to state that it is possible to change this country so that people can be able to live a better life, as we said. We come with experience of cooperatives. I am a chairman of this cooperative union. I got it gone. I bought it within 2 years. It was up. Government came, grabbed it again for 5 years. The Wananchi fought, came back. They said the only person who can take in leadership is Nandala. I come back, I organize back the farmers. Right now the farmers are getting 17,800 shillings per kilo. Why? Because of collective bargaining. So what happened to your cotton is because we have Land Cooperative Union, which is their name. I know my brother Akora Maxwell is, I think, the chairman, but it should go beyond that, because cotton is white gold. Everybody who is in this room where we are seated or outside there is putting on a cloth with what? Cotton. Now, they put cotton, then they put some polyester, then they put some... But when you go and get a shirt or a cloth for which they say 100% cotton, the price is 10, 20 times. Why? Because cotton is the most expensive item. Why are we not growing it? It's because people have decided to kill the sector and transfer this business to other countries. Now, I would suggest that if people of Lango, that cotton has money, you need a leader who will come back and give you money in the cotton, and the leader spinning mill should work. If you have ever seen the power line, Dr. Milton Obote never made a mistake to have a dedicated line from Ginger or power up to where? Leader spinning mill. He knew we needed the power 24 hours to gin our cotton so that we were able to transform it and make money. That's why we had African Textile Mill, we had Nightingale Textile Mill, and these are possible that we can bring them. We had a cooperative bank. It was taken. Now, a cooperative bank is needed for cooperatives. That's why we're saying I come with experience to revive cooperative unions and provide all the cooperatives from down going up so that farmers who produce can have their product go through cooperatives and are marketed. And the government would be the lead marketing manager for people, for the farmers. Why? Because it has capacity to create silos so that when there's excess, they put for them in silos and they issue what we call warehouse receipts. The warehouse receipt means I can go to the bank and use the receipt and get money because it will have value. The warehouse receipt, and also we are going to do what we call value addition. And the cooperatives will be a basis to move our farmers. So when they need their money, we'll go to the cooperative bank. For those who are in the agriculture sector, we're going to establish an agriculture bank so that farmers go there and get credit, which credit will be at no interest because you're borrowing money where you're going to produce for the country, food, cash crops. Now, when you give that money, you must also ensure that is insurance, so that the farmer, if at all the weather is bad and whatever happens, that he or she doesn't have our product out, the insurance company will come and compensate the farmer. So the farmer will be comfortable to go and work every morning knowing he's going to make money. In case the weather is bad, the insurance company will pay. And that needs the government to lead that process. And this will be done, and the people of Uganda will have what we call dignity, and they will live better lives, which we're talking about. I want to state without contradiction that this country is endowed, is well endowed. It has weather, the rain throughout the year, it has sunshine throughout the year, and we can grow anything in this country. But also God loved Uganda, that every area, it gave it different facilities where they can go get earn income. I'll give you an example. I come from Mount Elgon. God gave us bamboo, where we get what you call marewa, but also gave us volcanic soils, where we grow coffee. Now our coffee is called Wujiso Arabic coffee. That's where we make money. Now they gave you land for cotton. Some they gave God gave them water for fish. That's why we're talking about fish. If you read about fish, that fish must be managed by people which you call beach management committees, by the locals, not the army. It's very unfortunate when you come, you get army manning the fishing sector. They are supposed to man the security, not the fishing sector. In fact, the locals should be able to go and fish, get fish, eat some, and make money. So there are, for example, for us in Bujis, we don't have fish, but we have coffee. You bring your fish, you sell in Bale, you come back with coffee to drink. And that's the way we could say that the country needs to be united. Unity we are talking about, so that you can go to Bale, you go to Gulu, you go to where you are called, and you are treated as a brother and a sister. Need a united country. So these are things which can be done, and our country can be able to work together. I went to school many years ago, but some people mistake me that I'm 16 years of age, but God has just kept me. But I want to give you what happened to our school days. When we're in school, the UPC government will try to identify bright boys and bright girls. And the purpose why they were identifying them, some of them, they were training them, for example, to be maybe in the intelligence system, in high places in government and whatever. I was lucky. I was one of those who was identified during that time. And that's how when my brother Ekanya was talking about. At that time, they would come to our schools. They would say, for you, you'll go and stay in such a order with such a person. I had a chance to stay with Mateke, who was a minister by then for education. Then also I stayed, that's why Nachoni knew me. And that's how they were training us to be leaders for tomorrow. So I started in Mwiri. That's how I did it. I was not the only one who would get at that home, you'll get a boy from maybe Kisobe, you'll get another one from Mvura. That's how and that's why I know many people in this country, because those are our time and what we did. They were doing it to make what we call a united country. When you're with your brother from Mvura, you know the other people from there. And for us, there was not zero grazing. I came from Bugisu, I went to Busoga College, what? Mwiri. The law was very clear at that time, that a local school, say, let us take Boroboro here, you will not admit more than 20%, the local ones. The local ones mean those who speak that language, that is the Langese. The 80% should come from the other parts of what?
The country.
The country. 20%, then you go to Normali, 20% Bagisu, maximum. The remaining should come from the other country. You go to Busoga, 20% of Busoga, the remaining should come from the other part. So they were building a united, patriotic country, whereby everybody loved each other. And when you're going to share a room, a bed, like on your deckers, you never, if you're Bantu speaking, you should not share with the Bantu speaking. You should share with an Erotic, so that we read. That's how we lived and knew. Now that's what is missing now. And that's what we want to bring back in our country. Now, why again I talk about that? For us, we had been also at that time, when we had finished senior 6, I finished senior 6 in March. By that time we used to do senior 6 in March. In 1985, of course, shortly the government was overthrown. That's when we had been identified, some of us, to go and train, and we had been again distributed all over the world. I was one of those in the group which is supposed to go to Korea, but unfortunately, not to go to train, that I'm going forever. You would go there for a short time, 3 months. Then when the time of the university, you come back, you study, then again after again another one, you go there. But it was purposely for also exposing us to another one. So I would say, for me under the UPC government, I had all those opportunities, and that's how I know the Dr. Obote, Milton Obote's family. Now, that's why I wanted to talk about my brother Keno. You have heard I was brought up in a UPC family. My mother and father are congressmen. My uncle was a member of parliament for UPC. I think my father was the chairman of a branch. You know, those are branches. So, parties were destroyed. At that time, there were 2 parties, UPC and what? DP, basically. Of course, there was Kabaka Yeka, I don't know where it ended, but I don't think it was there. It came to CP, I think. Then UPM came in, but we're Congress people. So I grew up in a Congress family. Unfortunately, when they killed, they stopped the parties, they were reinstated. I was among those who were fighting for my party to be there. That's the time of the late CCO girl, the late Ekura Park, and it came in 2004. And that time, that's when this Forum for Democratic Change was formed. Of course, I'd been the treasurer for UPC in parliamentary caucus. Our chairman was the late Dr. Malinga. I don't know if you heard about Dr. Malinga. We eventually crossed to NRM, and unfortunately he died later on. And why he died at a health center 3, 4, because they could not treat him, they had no medicine. It was the minister for what? Health. So health should be Mwiri. Dr. Milton Obote went to Busoga College, what? Mwiri. So I followed in his footsteps. He was the first leader of opposition. I was also a leader of what? Opposition. So the characteristics, that's why Kenya was saying, maybe the bald head and whatever resembles Lango. So I am yours. I ask you kindly to support me in good faith, and whatever you want, it's me who can be there for you. I want to state that I come here to serve this country as a servant, and I can tell you, me and my team here who have introduced themselves, and some who have not had an opportunity to be here, but they are holding the key, are coming here to make sure they are servants of your country and the people you can rely on, and I can assure you who are going to make a big.
In the studio, we also have Honorable Geoffrey Ekanya, the FDC Treasurer General and the MP for Tororo County North. We also have Honorable Sentinel Robert, FDC Deputy National Chairperson, who comes from Kasese, if I'm right, yes. And then we also have Honorable Jonathan Ebwalo, the MP for Soroti City West. And then we have Ajuna Joseph, a National Mobilizer Forum for Democratic Change, and of course, Alango Regional Leaders and Forum for Democratic Change. We've just heard from Mr. President. Before we go for a brief translation, the President hinted on so many areas, but I have one question in line of the youth, women, and governance participation. How will your administration create a meaningful opportunities for youth and women in leadership and entrepreneurship? That's my question. I prioritize upholding women's leadership and so on, as far as youth as well. So maybe it is important for you to share how your administration would see to it that we have a meaningful opportunities for the women and youth. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, my daughter. For us women and the youth, that's why we have a special interest. You have seen under pillar number 5, women and the youth should be in leadership. You see, I've given you an example how we're being trained to be leaders. Yeah, I will be one of those who will ensure that there's mentoring of the youth become leaders. But of course, our youth are going to be leaders. They will be leaders from down. They are doing business, their leadership in business, and how they can do it is the best way to be trained, mentored to do it better, because they must live with one idea to know the following. Anything you do, you must be accountable, you must be transparent, you must do it with integrity, and if you are going to be accountable, you'll be a very good leader. That's why I'm saying we're going to handle the youth and the women. Now, even the women, as we're talking of leadership, they need money also. Now, most of our mothers are doing small businesses. That's the women. Of course, when I'm meaning a mother, I'm not meaning even you. You are my mother. So these mothers are doing small businesses. What do they need? They need to be empowered to have enough capital to be able to move from what small businesses and go up. Now, this is how there will be a deliberate effort by our government to ensure that women and the youth are given money to do business. And this money which we give you to do business will be used in such a way that you will not be allowed, you will not be taxed at lower level. You will only be taxed when you have grown high. You understand? There are those exemption stages and whatever. We give foreigners exemptions and forget locals. But the locals which should have maximum impact of his exemption in taxation should be the lower level. That's why you'll have credit and ensure that you don't pay taxes at lower levels. Now, as you grow, of course, when you have resources, you will be able to be also competing in the leadership roles. Now, the leadership roles, people assume only that is being political. Even in your group of where you are, you need to be a leader. We don't only look at politics at all. Even at home, you need to be a leader. Now, if women are well empowered, they are the best leaders to have. I have done experience personally as a chairman of this cooperative union. When I came in, the women were not allowed to get any money from the primary side. You know, when we take our coffee, you measure. Now the woman, our fathers would go and pick all the money. The women were just like laborers, and which laborers were not said. I came in and said, no, we're going to give women 10% of our money. So women started getting 10% the first time. But it was an annoying thing to the men. But when the women would get the money, she would tie the money on the gomas, run home. The first thing she would do, she would buy exercise books for her child. And those children are for that same man who doesn't want her to what? Our document. We're saying if we get power, we need every district to be represented with 2 MPs. Because we also want to cut on costs, public administration. Now, we also want to save the 10 trillion. Of course, when I talk about where shall we get the money, we already have saved 10 trillion from corruption. Then we shall invest in the productive sectors. We shall get money. Now, the taxation will be too big that even our debt service, we shall clear our debts. In fact, I can tell you we are determined to clear this external debt and the internal debt within a short time. Because what will happen is that we should do a deliberate effort to save people. By then, there is a lot of local debts. When you read the newspapers, when you see the advertising, a house being sold, land being sold, those are people who have gone to banks to borrow money to supply government, and the government is not what? Paying them. And those are people we should deal with. Okay. So what we're saying is that when we do that, we will have one affirmative for women, then the one which will be competed between men and women. To go to be born here, so we should enjoy our country. And that's why we are all here saying to go to be born here, so we should enjoy our country. And that's why we are all here saying we need a dignified country for all of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We are going for a short...
My daughter, have you got what I mean?
Yes, I did. I appreciate. Thank you very much. We'll go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll do a brief translation before we give you time to call and ask those questions you could be having, and of course, read a few of your messages. Keep them coming. We'll give you time also to speak to us. Keep it keen.
Are you ready to explore the historical Movit village? The community and different tribes would gather to harvest the best skin herbs in celebration, music and dance. It was a magical time. It was awesome. Experts have put this heritage in one pot, giving birth to the legendary Movit Herbal formula. Movit Herbal is blended with the best herbal extracts from Mother Nature to reduce skin rashes and
all-day confidence.
Stay hydrated always with Aquafina Premium Drinking Water from the makers of Pepsi. Aquafina, your paddy of life.
Academy point? Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Herbal Jelly and Herbal Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit all day confidence.
Bro, what's up?
I'm cool. How are you doing, man?
We are unstoppable. We are unbeatable. Everywhere we go, we unstoppable. Come on. We unbeatable. Yeah. Everywhere we go.
To lead is to care. Show some kindness. It makes a difference. Yeah. We serve and we share.
Mchawa Beach utieno meni na tinini kapuri yabo radio ni yaba utie karachel kere chungu pibedo a president melobo Uganda ite party me forum for democratic change man right honorable James Nathan Nandala Mafabi ametie studio me QFM utie na tinini karachel kere utela hiroma papati ite party me FDC kere utela ite party man ametie yilaukan ubino bay mali malo tutual ijeme moga me pir gitego kita me Mr. President ubino kere lao kan wando pe o gonyo pe do donye ye one word kai points ame pir gitego pen cop ame pir gitego ame miyo yin atedero ame miyo yin lao iwinyite koni ni no ka utunu mira wara gwet queen about Nandala Mafabi pieno ngoeno kobo no ka yire anu chobo chunyi tengeni ena ye aloki pore pitelo lobo Uganda mona yoberu kuri jamme amewan hobinu gonyo tiena tinini abomba lochawa wegdadong huworo kwa ye yore kiri yore
apoyo tutwala mina Dorin Opio pida meya wa opportunity me gonyo gini yore bolao nuli moro utiyo gini kere nuli moro utiyo gini kere yora ba amandong choter bugodong kobani mon loke pirgitek ordong meyo moni chawa ni Bugishu Cooperative Union tiene kairi puru mon turi pasen piradek me mon yawuri puri turu cha umiyo mon turi pasen piradek me mon yawuri puri turu cha umiyo dong bon mon kare perti mo mani Bugishu Cooperative Union ngo dong gen timu bon mon me Uganda man chot yumi yoda dong mon na me ko tawani pirgi peteki odogo do tela na Bugishu Cooperative Union.
Yes.
Me bulu okien ko kobe ni buliwa tia gamu pik wela ngo attack ento FDC ni bere tera mera chalo president me Uganda ene bidu ni buliwa ametie tipping kucha omiyo gi pigi iwel me millionaire amen bidu chulo pe mwahadi abij pien pigi kadede wori omiyo pien mana do pipi jo yobo Uganda pekaro millionaire la hangwen nyurdi wiye cha gamene binu timo binu mi konyo gi kere bulle nyurdi bula chela binu cholo la hangwen imwadi achiel kanya okere mwa big mono bero millionaire di ariyo nudu pobero lon mo bero gina me gamene poke jama ngo menono nyurdi ni na chela da bula chela no te cholo chini tutumia di chela man binu lokko kwa bulle amemi yo bulli wa binu bero kere chente te chaogi te ya nyono bora to welu lori teke to wudi e kala cholo rengi kwene school mono bela agenda mene tie kala chel kere pibulu ero ko ni e dikere program pi jame obero pur teme ya por ni chawa ne bero chairman me Bugishu Cooperative Union mon i chawa ne bota pur duk ameti anda Bugishu Cooperative Union nyete Bugishu Cooperative Union jotia welo moya chela mon kila chel tutumia para bero imia boro so nyurni lo yamene tie komboni to kella chalo president me FDC no bero gina pedong nyen porre achala ngatu kwano komi komdo angol kop kirjamo kenene ene binu making sure no ko iriti to mi chele mi abiro kai ne char moye tikere nyo kilo mi chele no tikere chele ani do tichele pire tek chalo ngata ngiyo komi komdo ene binu neno ni kelo dongo lobo me komi kompur bini lao kan ene binu neno ni cooperative union uduogo ina ni speeding mill ariyo bero me otadercha uduogo pien pama bonga waru ko wani long yai pama dan bo me dong yugo kere pama ena me wele dong takala lobo bo lo dong pa bo mo yugo ginno kana ni dushi do enta mere ko bi kompu tena ne e bire dogo cooperative union me we ka puru chemgi gin be biro gamu chen ne bang cooperative union na me ko ni biro bang pu kere bang puru biro dogo ko ameka inde tikere porni ame ini puru ini wore gamu chen ne kunu amenu chala mara wellera me jwa keti wiata chalari petie do ini gamu chen na cha eka do ko biro mi gina ma long ni insurance yo me lo ko bi kom nen no ni gina ini puru cha gina yo neno be me we kai cha moro cheo ne ko jemi cha bang pepe che no boro wor pe bo jama long ni insurance cha donc man yuru ni plan nere chalo president pio pour ti mala me petwere gina chella me ero ko woni e bindu cooperative banks so nyuru ni maro be jammi ame pigi te kapetwere pe ko kompur ero wor gudu ni penchik me Uganda ko woni twero kiri jamu nywele me Uganda bere mo nywele me Uganda munu penchik rekere piero we bichel ame ko ni jamu lo nge Uganda obere me nywele mere kibra be ticha gamene me gwa ko nywele mere kiri jamu ge so nyurni ene binulu nya tek alowo ko komponyere o ko woni kai mi unu twero me bere president me Uganda ko pa kwa ko komponyere ene binulu neno ni chukule lo nge Uganda utini ye ukwana rom cholo poye po biru yer ni morni beru science morni beru SST ende mi ya por ni ka apony mel lemono enda me ponyo ponchora bien me ko ni achiel kemer kre chiel nyuni 1 + 1 is equal to 2 mono lemono mero no bota pony ai ne de ko ni aponye lemono dog ning me chora dog riek man yurni nu ko paydi ko bocha po ber ko ngo ateni government me FDC amene bero president nerni yone ni Uganda obero me ajo dushu do ene biru lo mene ni otino ponye me achiel pien chukule government me Uganda ni bero chukula government otino ponye binu kwan me nono ame iri wori ma pony kuringeni atini tia kwan me nono ta ki primary na university peni primary bero ma government university bero ma government secondary school bero ma government ngomi otino ponye pero ko kwan menon me wek
no na wano teno ponya chone mir do high school
no do mi do high school amin me wek kado apunya wori pon kero chala no nokke amenu kera romi mi apunya me chunyo timo eno mi aponi ko ni wori penya ponyi wang tikucha ni apon ko mi ATM card nyoni gina mo rwake korat me ga pe chende che in wori kin chado pe dido bojo ame Marilenda obero jo ame mi olena deno kinpeng donc daro je na me woro kwayo chena pony to me ya ponjo mi abichuru da kemo me kuro jemicha mi ya ponyi cha ka ndo majo dore matoko karo kendo ka wor me gatu book guardo good bojo du ye na do karo kene wiye pedati mo petiati because jemi mere du shidong tibon Marilenda donc tichera tek ka chalo president no Uganda obero me lo ngano ni oponye ubero kara chel kede opportunity ajo arorom dan kobni kobi kom yot kom dan biru timere kitame ko kere me ponyi biru da cholo jodu chango arorom apira tekene ni yen daga tera mo gera ba me lira mo gera ber woke kere daga tera me no o gera ber borwani biru ni lo kobi kom yen ubere ye me we ka jo wor jonus bina miro jo timno bende exciting kabere moga me karagamente me obor teacher obiro ge gera bara kirian dongo gi borwa kano gera na hage te gera bara bot gi tumchani
da hatala pere wa chel
da chel pere wa chel obiro daga ta me lebu lere nu pat kali ko be di wel jo medde yurni tija tek da miro be tier mi daga ta lo pon mi service kitare kana chon jarang temo ni o kara chel kede do manno be jami mogo a chego ame era bero kobiye and the worry kobi kom yo amamere ni da wara miwu in summary ero ko ni chende me Uganda onu otwarti uticha donga me pelare endo dunga chende cha jotimo jo kwala pien kai neno eno mi apor kam ni kilomita achiel me yo ka ko $1 ni mi achiel pierbi kai dogi chene ne Uganda bero million miang big ipiera ngwenono eno kairi woro itchawa ni wela mo kerrie okero billion ya para cheli yo achel eno kun chen yurni chen na meo kwala bere chop pasena para bongwe dunga chen wor ko ipuo da enwoni jo ame biru ti yo ene bere jo amo kele yo China kwene gi kun wotino watia kwa engineers kai mi unu toero otino wa na biru ti yo ne pien ijema mejo ti ukere kai woro ma tiborwa Uganda kan
yes
semen tiborwa Uganda kan ginamo ti ukere lera dango enemy karaliero bordu Uganda kana meu borre lero binu ye ni be ye kano kero binu kwara me mandu chuni ngeo endo lero borro binu be mbale te buru mbale yunge ya Kampala te do ya kunu soro te eno chuna ye te mpe abea te binu do ko lao so juruni tumu borro kere ti kwere ti mbale don waria kina UPC kren o gishu ti karadi karachel pien chogara duong amo binu yere yo borre me makko bendera me UPC me wochung me ber president me Uganda obiru bero mbale jolo me Uganda ko ni dawni mira yera auto binu yere gumba bere nu kane borre ya ikwere ya lao eno gindu shubinu chwa karachel do man miyo ene kwao ne kitedo akera pechung ene kwayo jo dushu me UPC kedang patu kene chame me yekwira chara tengi wewe kene ber president me Uganda kere jama ene chano ni wewe kela lawa kwere Uganda endo te community ya kine tiche Uganda do etiyo ko bera me parliament pimara Pierre Obi etiyo da na chara leader of opposition e gore kwano da chukupa mwiri ameti busoga kanda medang Milton Borda timo ukwane ye Milton Borda be leader of opposition in parliament ena de be leader of opposition ko parliament e donc do kay be president do ñurni ene tielo bu ko yo borre yore gino portimo ene tielo de ko yo woni mi wonu ka en queen ba ba be president me Uganda dado mo mi emanu ene do timero ni dugo Uganda kitamiro bet kere manunu inde wiye ginna mata woni akwany wa kobu amobere pon be ko pameno bero le Uganda
apoye ritual we hakobi ni gonya ber chawa watia meotumo ko but peo ya ekana me peo gamo team amen watia ya yoho line team watie tuolo not abiro abichel abongwen angwen adek abongwen angwen adek kunyo not ario not abongwen not abongwen angwen adek 0776943943 beragonya melok kileb pashu beragonya melok kileb lao and then kada ramolok hileb mono nodang do hikonyo wa ento kayindang perolok hileb mono in beragonya melok kileb lao yonge time check atedwo gama penya ria dek e kautedo lokoti na tinini
The time check on 94.3.
You're all invited. Yes, you're all included.
Alfonso Chono.
Ubinuti ukwene? Uti ukwene?
United Nyanza Textile Industry.
19 girl. 19.
Okay.
Textile Industry.
19 girl. 19.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to talk about copy control.
Upoyo.
Maybe a chol. Don't know that. Let me clear.
Okay. Upoyo. Acho. Hello? QFM. Yes, you Q. Muzeme anang.
Awi ko yo. Kiri mo na me. Weki ya weki ko.
Poco ko fi komwa.
Mo na betino ki go.
Mona menga?
Na betino ki go.
Mona menga?
Ki wo na ki lo wa. Kicho. Kiri yo na bale.
Muzeme loko cha unyera upetea unyera be. Yes.
Ako biyo. Amo bale kiri muna mi jero ki o tabe ya kwa yoti. Boko ko biye. Ni betino.
Eto yina le cha when you radio le led ba pien ko pe. Okay. QFM. From your radio, please.
Yes, I'm sorry you're talking to Kula.
Yes, Ronald.
I'm very happy to see the President to be here in Rango.
Where are you calling from, Ronald?
I'm calling from Ngata, but I come from Kasese. But I vote here in Rango.
Okay, please, proceed.
I'm very happy to hear my MP there, Mr. Centenary, and together with my President. We are welcoming them in the Kasese. I'm very happy to hear. No, Radio Q.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, QFM. Hello? Yes, Radio Q. James Baraboa. Patrick? Kobe, what are you? Okay. Yo yelao. Okay. QFM. Hello.
It's more of appreciated.
Hello. Yes, QFM.
I'm saying that there's like one here. Say.
Do you want to ping at a hat?
I am at the drama, but I don't get one for the drama.
Just thank
In the bear man of cover.
the good thing.
I don't want to kind of thing, Sarah. One down in the bear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apoya.
I don't know what I'm better say.
Apoya. QFM.
Hello.
Yes, Radio Q.
David Mankan, well,
Scan.
they will look in the first.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Apoya. QFM. Hello. Radio Q.
Hello?
Yes. No, yam. Yes. Yes, Muse David. Okay. Apoya. Okay. Apoya. Chimario me agike. Apoya David. QFM. Yes. You better down na Lokipenda Unyereba Network. QFM.
Hello?
Yes, Radio Q. Alex Ayabi Town Council. What a name?
Adan kai were government schools. You want to try to one Germany do to blame when you go for your paper. As a man will have government.
Okay.
I can't get out of you to deny or care. No one bully. Tawani. The two to that. Ekabo mi wagina na bear. Kama wenu bully marriage bully tuma. Eko kinaburu mi tipe. Aya teo sapa ti buru patient. Eko kama mi kete wara mi opik. Dal kitu keno. Nio wanti la beru kwayo.
Apoya.
Apa mata ko beni. Mai da jana to rani ta bil konne. Ada di wano ki yore.
Apoya.
Wakti ru kwayo to tran.
One last lucky caller. Hello. Yes, QFM. Francis Medo, hello. Yes, Francis. What are you?
Okay.
Yes. want to know what somebody will do for them specifically. I am very sure if we had more time, apart from the appreciations, people would not really be asking you much questions, but rather requesting you to do for them something. So my question is, what is your long-term vision for Lango sub-region? And then why should the people of Lango trust you and Forum for Democratic Change and Leadership now? And what guarantees can you give that our aspirations will not be forgotten after the elections? Those are two questions from me. Thank you very much. Wagdoa mi chawa, but Mr. President, me adohi ya pen keredong akobo akopere me agiki eka hote haduogo atie koko apojo ducha me ogo chim apojo duch ameomio poch aduongo mio ka poch apenyo berape apat ka kere concern meko peyo amedang nen aduong President uloho koye ento hubinoto mokadong hudolo apoyo matek kadong peagamu chimi monodusho kisha kiken. Right, back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody who called, because it shows our people are awake listening to us. We don't take it for granted. We must thank you so much for listening to us.
And people call from different districts in Lango, like Oyam, Dokolo, Ayabe is in Pacho Kwania. Somebody called from Kwania and Lira, and other districts as well. So you were speaking to the people of Lango, as we said earlier on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm so grateful that they're listening to us. We don't take it for granted. We look forward to interact with you more. I still have my team on the ground, the Bryans, the Newtons, Isaac, my mayor, Obote, whatever. They will be always interacting, and they will come and interpret, because they are very eloquent people, and I trust them. They will do everything. And also, I want to thank for the appreciation, because it is very important that you get a feedback. And when you get such a feedback, that people are appreciating our manifesto, our document, that it is the best, we are grateful. I want to state the people of Lango and other people who are listening to us. Our manifesto is very good manifesto, and I want to tell you that now everybody they are trying to copy it. Let me give an example. In 2006, when we wrote our manifesto, we said we're going to pay the elders. We put some money in the elders for people who are above 60 years, 65. Yes. Unfortunately, we were not given power. When the NRM took the power, President Museveni said you will pay them also, but he had just set the age to 80. How many people are 80? We are saying no, that's not, because everybody has worked. Civil servants have worked, they are being paid a pension. Even some of them never worked, they were just sitting in offices, but they have reached retirement age, but they are being paid what? A pension. What about this old woman, now who is 65 years of age, who worked for Uganda by producing food, by producing cotton, by producing coffee? What are the benefits? That's why our manifesto says the elderly people who make 65 years of age, if you are not on public service pension, you will be on pension and you'll be paid 60,000 shillings per month. The youth living in university, we have said the youth need some support as soon as they finish university. We have said they will be paid 1 million shillings as they get as they are going. I've heard the President Museveni is also saying he's now establishing a youth fund for a loan who have taken 2 years without jobs. In 40 years, they never knew they were youth who are not getting jobs. The PDM, we are saying, for us, we said 100 million per village. Now they're saying they're going to triple it. But for us, we even want to go further, tell you that those who got PDM money, it's your bonus, because some of you got 600, some of you got 700, even some got 500 because of corruption. And this is a corruption they have done. Now, for 40 years, You have just got 500, 1 million, half a million. Just also have it as bonus. Enjoy your money, which is going to come to serve you with 100 million per village. My sister Joy talked about 90. 90 where people were paid, and if they were not paid, again, that's corruption. These are things where we're saying nobody should be deprived of his property. If I have earned my pension, my gratuity, my terminal benefit, if you have done the retrenchment, even when people were retrenched, we're paid. I want to tell you that we are going to assuring you, your dad, or even if he has left the world, whoever will be the owner of the estate will be compensated amicably and compensated handsomely. Why? If you were supposed to get, give an example, you're supposed to get 10 million. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you will be compensated 10 million plus interest, plus damages, even what we call time value of money. Those who know time value of money will understand. Secret violence is coming because of poverty. The father is at home, the mother is coming, give me money for soap, give me money for food. The old man is, the father is angry. Whenever he sees his wife coming, he thinks he's coming to ask for money, even when he's calling him, come and eat food. He said, you, because of poverty. So these are going to be histories. Also, domestic violence is two-way. At home that give us money for food, the mother will get angry. But if money is around, there will be no more domestic violence. I can assure you, money is going to be there and there will be no domestic violence in homes. If it's there, it will be minimum. Roads, that's a real plan. I want you to look at our nexus in our manifesto. I will give you an example. You know Nakasongora Road, up to the ferry, then you cross the ferry, Namasali, up to Dokoro, Ochero Road. All those are in Dokoro, Ochero, they're all in our manifesto. If a ferry is like a road, that road, you will cross on the water with minimum interference. And the infrastructure of roads is our priority. Do you know why it is in our manifesto? If a road is good, a man who produces food, a woman who produces food, or anybody who wants to transport to anywhere, it will be cheap so that you get maximum benefit. You know what we call a farm gate price. Farm gate price takes into consideration how much will I transport from the farm gate to the market. If the transport is high, then the farm gate price will be reduced. If the transport is lower, the farm gate will be high. Now this is what we demonstrated. Assuming the cassava I'm taking is 10,000, but if transport is 6,000, I'll get 4,000. But if the transport is 1,000, I'll get 9,000. The transport can only be 1,000 if the road is what? Good. The means of transport is good. This one I can tell you, infrastructure is a serious issue on it. When they asked Gandhi, what do you want India to have? Give it three things. Said education, education, education. When they asked this chairman Mao, what would be for China? He said, if you want a forest, plant trees. If you want a nation to develop, educate the population. So again, when I come to education, it's one of the things we need for our country. If you asked me, if we want our country, Uganda, to be a real country, we must invest in education. We must invest in health.
Thank you.
Now, Ronald is happy with me, as he said, my MP. 25 years, yes, I've worked to be elected 5 times. If I went back to stand in the West now, I would not go unopposed. That shows I have been a worker which everybody loves. Because I am already a servant, I produce results. Now, give me an opportunity for a country. You know, if I give you a chicken, you rear, and it produces, you get a goat. And if you get the goat, it produces. Now you need a cow. So I need a cow to rear so that I can produce more milk, more calves, more bulls, more, so that the country is in a better position. So that's what we're applying for. James, appreciation, thank you very much. The manifesto, yes, the manifesto is very clear, and I can tell you that's why we're asking for the vote. And you see, why this manifesto will need ourselves to implement it. I come with the knowledge in economics, which I told you. I come with experience in that field. I come in the project of accountability. You have seen me. I got somebody at a market. I don't know that market, when we left the market we got before. I think it's not okay. or to care with that market. One man came and said, "Oh, Nandala, I've been watching you on TV and I've seen you live." And he said, "You held the people who stole a man accountable." And I was very excited. He came and even welcomed me. So he said, I'm happy that people have seen me. In fact, I have been there. And that's why I've asked myself a question. Why should President Museveni print posters, put billboards, when he has been around for what? 40 years? There must be a problem in this country. Because that's the money we would be putting in hospital, putting in roads, instead of putting what? Billboard. For me, I know soon, if you give me an opportunity, I'll not print a poster. But here I am to work. Now, no jobs. Yes, they might bring our small houses. That's why they are taking our small goats. So we need to employ our youth. That's why they're energetic and whatever, so that they produce and the economy will what? Grow. Roads, and I can tell you the cost of roads is going to be cheap because we know the cost, how much it is. There's research done. And as the cost of roads become cheap, transport becomes cheap. As transport becomes cheap, production goes high. More money in our pockets, more to spend on, and whatever life to go. What do we have for Lango as a long term? First of all, Lango is a part of Uganda. Lango must be developed, and equitably what? Developed. All sectors which have an issues that they have lack development, they will be developed. That's one of the things is infrastructure.
Okay.
Second thing is to make sure that people are healthy, to make sure that Lango has money, the cotton industry must be revamped, the union must come back, the spinning mill must come back, and even other industries must be built. In fact, you need even an airport. You see, you look as if you are at the center of Nani, and there's a lot of tourism, as you see.
Yes.
You have heard about those things in Dokoro, those Kabaka. What are
There happens, Toke, in a patch.
Yeah. So we have a lot of things. So you have a lot of it, and tourism is one of the sectors which is now currently bringing money. I have here Isaac, I have Newton. These are the people who must implement our programs as we speak, as we go ahead. And this is very important that we shall work as a team to do.
Okay.
Why should people trust me? I come with experience. Everybody, whatever work has been given, I have produced what? Results. Nobody has ever raised that I've failed. I wanted to leave Obujusu Cooperative Union. The farmer said, "My friend, and over our dead body, we are not going to leave." Ask them. So there are times they said they will remove my house. They will throw my house down if I don't what? They will remove my house. A person who is like me with process. But also, I also want to tell you, I want to take you to the Bible. I want you to, those who read the Bible, 1 Chronicles chapter 29, verse 26 and 27. Those who know, have you got it, my daughter? You're opening your Bible.
1 Chronicle chapter?
1 Chronicle chapter 29, verse 26 and 27. I want you to read it for me so that then I can conclude. As I'm saying, you are looking for it. So you should trust me. I'm a good worker. I can tell where I'm going, my lad. I said, I'm gone. He said what? As you see, where Geoffrey told you, where because of my good working, they had retained me as a consultant for both World Bank and IMF, and I still, my finger works. What it means is I've been not removed in the system. When I reach there, I just put my finger, I pass, and I have what we call as a percent. That shows the trust and the capacity I have. You can do a record, you can Google about me. I am a professional accountant. I studied the CPA Kenya, and now I studied the ACCA UK. I did the CPA America. So wherever in the systems, I know all this. Unfortunately, I failed to know French. I told Geoffrey to teach me French, but I'm one of those when I'm in the international market. The French love me. The English people speaking love me. The Portuguese love me, and that's why they always entrust me with me leading them in their teams.
Thank you.
So that means if those people if a French would can accept an English person, you know, when it comes to voting, if the English votes the English, the French votes the Englishman, the Portuguese vote. I am the only one who has failed to know those languages. But when I come in those markets, because of trust and hard working, the Lord put me ahead.
Thank you.
When we are talking about development, you remember when we were fighting for Achibwe Stadium, you know, you saw we raised the point. We are among those who raised the voice that we need that stadium
constructed.
If I was doing it because I'm a Rangi. In fact, I told you from the beginning, I'm a Rangi who went to Bali, but now
Thank you. Thank you,
Sorry,
Mr. President.
Reading?
Okay, you're reading First Chronicles, chapter 27, verse 26.
Chapter 29.
29, I mean, verse 26 to 27. I will read in both the local language and in English. The English version reads, David, son of Jesse, was king over all Israel. He ruled over Israel for 40 years, 7 in Hebron and 33 in Jerusalem. And then ilebla ya kwanukiti. Daudi wata yesho, riholojo Israel kitono. En riholojo Israel pimwaki pierangwen twal. En obera loj I Hebron, pimwaki habiro. Eka te loj I Jerusalem, pimwaki pieradek wiadek.
If you are aware, Joseph was the most loved person by God. You are aware Joseph was son of Jesse. When they were going to look for a king to replace King Saul, because King Saul, the Israelites asked from God, and Saul, God said, choose your own. When Saul was mistreating them, they went to him and said, we want king now from you, not from themselves. Just David was a son of Jesse. So when the angel went there to ask for who should be, bring me one of the children to be king. So they brought the huge, fat, tall. They said no. They brought the most handsome. They brought those who can jump, nothing. Then they said, they are finished. Then the angel asked, is there no more one? It was prophet. It was Prophet Nathan. So they said, there must be one. Said, there's one there who smells the cow, is rearing sheep, he smells sheep dung, what, even if you look at him, you will vomit. So they went and brought a guy smelling dung with something done, I think, torn things. And I hope you are getting. Now, yes. So it means the king does not need to be fat, handsome, whatever, but when God chooses, he chooses.
Oh boy.
And you can, one of the other things, he is one of those who committed a crime, but God forgave him. You know.
Ogamo aka ube oka kwa yoni gina dego nyonumo bedonga chichek chawa wanodon yedi ngate hate hapedong megwa hapoya.
Akwa yoni pedo agonye jema Paul.
Yes.
And attack komeko bijoni dihini one president wa Ilera district. One of the council utoke tatura ipasha honorable Charles Angiro Gutumoye.
Okay.
Out of work going main rally work and
Hamingeni a party me forum for democratic change unwodang atiukero program man live amonono YouTube a channel gi me FDC unwotie YouTube me QFM unwotie Yorama TV Karachel kedong jo amawinyo wa online jo amawinyo wa ni bay Radio Garden hoba me polo mingunducho agum kache adwong Nandala Mafabi binupon medeke de bobea mere yilangokan jamukene yinde berwinyi yamut kitame bobea mere tie awon karachel kere obame polomigum meda kere winyo QFM
Ton cool Navy and upbeat Pilup chikor keken Kerchike apiri
Captain Ice One Family Entertainment Wanga wilo toha Akare ningo wanga wilo toha na Anu wanga wilo toha Akare kijok wanga wilo toha na Kijono cheki wangono Iwingu toki ni utiki
wa mono. You will go to Guinea, take it one mono. Look, go to Amano Keluye. And you know, make Carini, Miro Kautoha. Look, go to Amano Keluye. The moon make Carini, Miro Kautoha. And a nano dog Moriwa. And you know, make Carini, Miro to Ecomotoha. And a nano dog Moriwa. Moon make Carini, Miro to Ecomotoha. Utoha Katie, Yamu Yota, Yaha, pretty bad. Utoha Katie, it's una Yota, Yaha, pretty bad. I got a beauty, I got a top. In Udo, and Yaha, pretty bad. And a doctor, I bet Udo, I get you, I gotta get out of a wheel or Toha. And a doctor, I gotta get you, I gotta get out of a wheel or Toha. And do a wheel or Toha. I got a name or Wanga wheel or Toha. And Wanga wheel or Toha. Gotta get your wanga wheel of Dogana. It don't take it one mono. You will go talking, you will take it one mono. It don't take it one mono. You will go talking, you will take it one mono. I wanna tell you my true love story. He man Logada, he go back yeah. I wanna tell you my true love story. He man Logateni, he gonna pay yeah. I've been a one yagara more to your phone. Let me chill, lock in Yagaro. I go be Dama, Oye Dama, Uchike Borani Baran again. The junior Bello Yoma Pelare, Ia Bello Yoma Pegute, Uno Pangio, Nio Tucatieno, Corotio. I tell a Rio de Guano Tahomole, did that they get a minute all over Damere, Nipe, Nita, Annabella Tian, Utana Bay. About dog kwe arumuta bing ukwero nyako eni chup na yo doha thinking no wega nyang you dog gotta take it power da ando wanga wilo doha akara ningo wanga wilo doha na anu wanga wilo